Here in Reiki Business Academy, we honor, value, and respect all forms and lineages of Reiki, regardless where it came from, what kind of training you got, whatever kind of Reiki you got, we like it here. One thing though is that that can make things a little bit hard to come together and agree on, right? When there's so many differences. So what we're going to do here in this video today is define a few of these terms here and learn how to talk about Reiki in a way that respects all lineages. And we're going to get on the same page as far as the definition of Reiki, where it came from, and those kinds of things. So we're going to jump right in. I'm going to be reading from this book. I love this book so much. This is the manual that I was given in my own Reiki teaching or Reiki training. I am now a Holy Fire 3 Reiki Master Teacher. So I have been through the Holy Fire system, which is beautiful, and I love it so much. This is also the manual I use to teach my students as well. I love this manual. Whatever style of Reiki you have, you can gain knowledge, information. There are experiences, there are meditations in here, so many cool things that you can use in this manual, no matter what kind of Reiki you have. This can be a wonderful tool in your tool belt. If you don't have this wonderful purple manual, send me a message and I can order one for you, easy peasy. Okay, let's jump right in. So we have... I'll be reading to you from the first chapter in this book. It's called Reiki Defined. I know this is backwards for you guys, but just go with me here. So this is the Japanese kanji for Reiki. We have Rei up here and Ki down here, and we're just going to dive into a little bit about what each of those words mean, both in the Japanese kanji and just how we can relate to them in other ways too. So, this first part, the first sentence is so good. Okay, write this down. You're gonna wanna memorize this first sentence, because when someone comes to you asking, what even is Reiki? Would Reiki who? This is what you say to them, okay? Here we go. Reiki is a Japanese technique for stress reduction and relaxation that also promotes healing. The clarity and the simplicity in that sentence. I love it. Okay, Reiki is a Japanese technique for stress reduction and relaxation that also promotes healing. It was discovered by Mikao Usui in March 1922. Reiki is administered by laying on hands, and techniques such as this have been practiced for thousands of years. Which, don't we love that? That ancient wisdom. Reiki is a very simple yet powerful technique that can be easily learned by anyone. Delicious. So let's talk about Rei, this kanji up here. I'll try to hold this up for you guys. The general meaning of Rei is universal, and this is the definition many have used. The kanji for Rei is composed of 3 sections. The upper section portrays clouds, and its meaning has to do with the heavens. In this case, the spiritual realms are represented, and more specifically, those higher areas of consciousness that are beyond ego. So this is like clouds, the heavens. This area goes by various names such as spiritual consciousness, the universal mind, God, the supreme being, and so forth. Meaning this part here represents that. It is out of these realms that creativity, genius, miraculous experiences, and spiritual healing originate. The lower section of Rei represents earth and portrays soil and stone. The middle section of the figure, which is composed of 3 rounded squares, represents 3 aspects of a human being: mind, body, and spirit. More specifically, this section represents the healer, who is located between heaven and earth and acts like a bridge to bring the wisdom, guidance, and healing of heaven down to the people and living things of the earth. Can you even? It's so good. Okay, so heaven, earth, healer, the bridge. That is Rei, and Rei representing spiritual wisdom. Spiritual wisdom. Beautiful. Ki is life energy. This guy down here, ki, life energy. It's also known as the vital force or the universal life energy. This is the non-physical energy that animates all living things. As long as something is alive, it has life energy circulating through it and surrounding it. When it dies, that life energy departs. If your life energy is low, or if there's a restriction in its flow, you will be more vulnerable to illness. When it is high and flowing freely, you are less likely to get sick. So, which that's what we do with our clients, right? We help remove that negative energy, or byoki as it's used, as it's called in Japanese. And by clearing out the negative energy buildup that gets in there, we bring in fresh, high vibrational energy that keeps a person strong. So that is ki, life force energy. We love it. Okay, so next up, we're going to talk just briefly about the history and origin of Reiki as we know it. And we're going to start with our dear Usui Sensei. Some people say it Usui. In fact, I think most people say it Usui. Usui is actually the proper Japanese way of pronouncing his name. So I will be saying Usui. If you say Usui, I'm not going to care. Okay? Okay. Usui Sensei was born on the 15th of August, 1865. He learned under difficulties in his childhood. He studied hard with efforts, and he was by far superior in ability to his friends. Oh, what I'm reading right now is on the Usui Sensei Memorial in Japan. This Usui Memorial Stone here. This is the inscription on there. Okay. After growing up, he went over to Europe and America and also studied in China. He had real ability, but he wasn't always successful in life. One day, Usui Sensei climbed Mount Kurama, where he began to do penance while fasting. Suddenly, on the 21st day from the start, he felt a great Reiki, that's spiritual life force energy, over his head, and at the same time he was spiritually awakened, he acquired the Reiki cure. When he tried it on his own body and members of his family, it brought an immediate result on them. Having said, I love this. Listen, it is much better, this is Usui, he said, it is much better to give this power widely to a lot of people in the world and enjoy it among them than to keep it exclusively by my family members. He wanted this to be spread throughout the world. He saw the beauty in this and knew that it could help everybody. So he wanted to make it easily accessible and available. He went throughout his life, created many healing centers and training centers. When he was traveling and was at an inn, and he passed away at the age of 62. He caught a disease abruptly and passed away at age 62. Okay, then it goes on to say, the Reiki cure is aiming not only to heal the diseases, but also to correct the mind by virtue of a God-sent spiritual ability, keep the body healthy, and enjoy a welfare of life. And then we go into the 5 admonitions, or the Reiki ideals, Reiki principles, Reiki precepts, whatever you might call them. The original Usui theory is, look how cute he is. The original Usui Reiki ideals are as follows. Don't get angry today. Don't be grievous. Express your thanks. Be diligent in your business, and be kind to others. I have modified those a little bit, just doing words that I know create better results for me as far as like speaking things into the universe and having them come back. There will be an image near this video where you will see both the original Usui Reiki ideals and the version that I have adapted from those. Okay, we'll back up. So don't get angry today. Don't be grievous. Express your thanks. Be diligent in your business. Be kind to others. These are really the important precepts for a cultivation, just the same as those by which the ancient sages admonished themselves. Usui Sensei emphasized that this is surely a secret process to bring a good fortune and also a miraculous medicine to remedy all kinds of diseases. That's what he believed and felt about those Reiki ideals. That would be enough. If you could live those ideals and be in that way, you'd be able to cure anything you needed to. Okay, so now we're going to skip ahead and we're going to talk about Hawayo Takata. Takata is a wonderful, spunky energy. Oh, I love her so much. This is her. Look how cute she is. Hawayo Takata is the reason that we have Reiki over here in the Western world today. She is the reason. So we're going to talk a little bit about her. So she was born on December 24th, 1900 on the island of Kauai, Hawaii. Her parents were Japanese immigrants and her father worked in the sugarcane fields. In order to provide for her family, she had to work very hard with little rest. After 5 years, she developed severe abdominal pain and a lung condition, and she had a nervous breakdown. Soon, been there, right? But soon after this, one of her sisters died, and it was Takata Sensei's responsibility to travel to Japan, where her parents had resettled, to deliver the news. She also felt she could receive help for her health issues in Japan. So she went to several doctors, and they gave her the diagnosis of a tumor, gallstones, appendicitis, and asthma. She was told to prepare for operation, but instead went to one of Usui's healing clinics and met with Dr. Hayashi, which was a close colleague of Mikao Sensei, Usui Sensei. So she went to visit Hayashi Sensei's clinic instead. Takata was unfamiliar with Reiki at the time. She didn't know what it meant. She was just giving it a try, didn't want to have surgery, right? I think many of us and our clients have been in that same position where it's like, I don't want to try what this doctor's telling me to do yet. I want to try something else first. That's exactly what Takata Sensei did. And she was surprised to find that the healers at Hayashi's clinic had diagnosed her very similarly to what the doctors had diagnosed her with. And she was like, okay, maybe this is something. She got treatments, I believe it was twice a week. Yeah, oh, no, more than that. 2 Reiki practitioners would treat her each day. The heat from their hands was so strong, she said, that she thought they were secretly using some kind of equipment. Seeing the large sleeves of the Japanese kimono worn by one, she thought she had found the secret place of concealment. Grabbing his sleeves one day, she startled the practitioner, but of course found nothing. When she explained what she was doing, the practitioner began to laugh and then told her about Reiki and how it worked. Mrs. Takata got progressively better and in 4 months was completely healed. She wanted to learn Reiki for herself. In the spring of 1936, she received first-degree Reiki from Dr. Hayashi. She then continued her Reiki training through Reiki Master and brought Reiki over to the Western world, back to Hawaii, where she established several clinics. One was located in Hilo on the Big Island. She gave treatments and initiated students up to Reiki 2. She became a well-known healer and traveled to the U.S. mainland and other parts of the world teaching and giving treatments. So we have so much gratitude and love for Takata Sensei. She's like I said, she's just like a feisty, scrappy little energy. I love connecting with her, and she is the reason that we do Reiki over here in the States today. She brought it over to us. I believe that she's also the reason that Reiki is still around much at all. All the other styles of Reiki that were practiced before Usui Sensei they've kind of disappeared. They've gone out of our world. They don't, those styles did not continue on, but Usui's did. And I believe that it is in massive thanks to Takata Sensei, the reason that we have it today. So that is a little history lesson and Reiki defined. Let me know what questions you might have. And again, if you would like me to order one of these for you, I absolutely will. It's a wonderful, wonderful resource. Thank you. Go get to work.